Hey guys, it's TheBeardieKid, and today for my second video I'll be bringing you guys a video on cricket breeding and what you're going to need to start up. This isn't going to be a video with the crickets, it's just going to be a video showing the containers, how you want to set it up, some ideas you can use that I've made here and that are going to work, that they've been working for me, so they should work for you. So I'm just going to show you the setup and what you're going to want. Okay, so with that said, let's start off with the benefits of breeding crickets, which is probably mainly saving money. That's really the thing that I'm doing it for. Don't know about you guys, but I'm just doing it to save some money, because crickets can get quite expensive when you're buying 50 every week or so, you know. So yeah, that's really the benefits. Then the cons are like, because you gotta take a lot of time to take care of them. You need a lot of water to spray them down. Yeah, you gotta it's just basically a lot of caring needs that they need. But I mean, that's really it. Oh yeah, and another benefit, of course, is producing tons of crickets that you can just feed, and you really need to buy anymore. All right, so there it is. Let's just go with now. Let's start it up with what you're gonna need to start it off. Okay, so here what I use is I have a Sterilite bin. It's like one of those Rubbermaid ones. It's just got the, you know, stuff inside, and it's just a bin for storage, but, you know, instead we're using it for cricket breeding. But yeah, so one of those Rubbermaid Sterilite bins. Then I have a 10-gallon glass tank, cage, whatever you want to say. So this is going to hold the adults, this Sterilite bin, because you need a lot of room for the adults. You want to have a lot of housing, like I have here. You want to have a lot of housing for them and give them a lot of space to mate and feel comfortable, because you don't want them to feel uncomfortable and die off. And then here is where the babies are going to be. And once they get bigger, you're going to take a lot of those paper towel rolls and water bottles and make a lot of room for them, because they need a lot of room too, because there's going to be a lot of them. And then eventually we can transfer them over to here and put the adults in here if needed be. Alright, so anyway, let's get started on what you're going to need. So first you're going to need some sort of bin, or just a big glass terrarium or something that you can contain them in. I prefer this because it's a lot easier to handle and hold and stuff. It's not as heavy. So what I did was I just took a jigsaw. You can use a box cutter too, but a jigsaw is a lot easier. And I just cut off a rectangle on the top of the bin, and then I took some mesh or chicken wire and I duct taped it to the bottom and crazy glued it so the duct tape won't come off. So that gives a nice ventilation for them. And then on the inside we have, oh yeah, I don't have it here, but you're going to need to do this. You're going to need to take packing tape or packaging tape. It's a very clear tape, and you want to put a strip over the sides, about 3/4 of the way up, and it'll go all along the sides, because that's very slick and the crickets can't climb up that and get out. So you're going to want that, because you don't want crickets running around in your house. So yeah, make sure you do that first thing. Then on the ground, for housing and what they need, what you're going to want is a lot of these paper towels, paper towel rolls, and cut them in half. Toilet paper rolls. I took some, what's it called? Water bottles. Sorry, I couldn't get the word out. Water bottles, and I taped around it so it's darker in there than just clear. So I took that, and you just want to pretty much throw them around in there, give them a nice housing so they can just, you know, go in through there. Then they can come out, and just a lot of housing room for them to make a lot of room, and they can live so they don't fight for housing. That should be enough. You know, keep putting more if you see that they're getting crowded and stuff. But yeah, that's good. And then on the other side, you're gonna want your food, which I have here is some lettuce and strawberries. You can use lettuce, potatoes, any fruit. Vegetable. I mean, anything that is good for us to eat, they can eat. They eat everything. You just want something that's good in protein so they can grow. And then another thing is that you're gonna need water. So what I have here is underneath them is a paper towel, and I soak this with water, and they just come up and drink, and then when they're hungry they just climb on here and they eat from the food bowls. So it saves space, and it gives it's like it's compact and it's real small. It gives you both water and food. Another thing is that they like dog food. You can take dog food, fish food, just smash it all up, make it into a real fine powder, and you can put it into another container like that. These containers, if you guys are wondering, are the bottoms of water bottles. So I recycled the entire water bottle in here. I took the middle of it and I made housing, and then I took the bottom and I made these little containers like this, and that's where the food is being held, right there. And then they couldn't really grab onto the plastic, so I duct taped the sides, and now they can grip onto that. So you're gonna want something like that you can put the food in and the salad. And then you're gonna need a water source, which is like paper towel. You can put cotton balls, soak them in cotton balls, anything like that. But make sure that it's not like just regular water in a dish, because they can drown because they're kind of dumb. And then okay, so then the most important part is the breeding part, which is probably why you guys are watching this video. So what I made is I took the bottoms of the water bottles, and I duct taped the sides like I did with the food bowl, and I glued them together. So it's like a 4 thing, and what this is going to be, they're all 4 glued together. And then I took some duct tape and I put a walkway from one to the other so they can crawl across onto each of the breeding pods. And what I did was I'm going to fill them. I fill them with soil, which is what you're going to do. Is you're going to fill it with soil, almost up to the top, leaving about not even a half an inch, like a quarter of an inch from the top, with soil. No matter what you use, you can use this contraption that I made, which I find it works very well, or you can use something like this, which is just a tin from a cookie thing. And you just fill it with soil, keep it wet every day. You want to keep it real wet, never let it dry. Let it dry, then this whole thing is going to be it's going to just be a bomb. It's not going to be just going to be a waste. All right. So you want to keep it wet all the time, so the females can lay the eggs, and the eggs don't get dehydrated. So what I made this. You guys should probably make it. It's really good. Put soil in it. Just keep it wet at all times. Leave it in there. If you want, you can rotate it every day, so if they only seem to be going in the front two, you can just turn it so they go to that two now, fill it up with eggs, and then at the end, you pick it up like this, and then whatever you're having, if it's this thing, you know, tub like this, Tupperware, anything that holds soil, take it out, and then you put it into another container, which is what I'm using, is a glass tank, and I'm just going to show you my method. So I take this, right, with all the eggs, put it in there. Then I have this other thing that I made. It's just the tops of the water bottle glued together, and then you just place this right on top like so, and it just makes like a pod almost. See, it almost makes a pod, and it's covered. There are little gaps in between, just so when they start hatching they can come out. But what this does is it makes a nice little humidity stay in there. It makes a good humidity keeper, so the humidity does stay in there very well and nicely. And you see little drops. You can see drops of water in there when you wet them. You want to wipe those off because those can drown the eggs, but it's just a good sign to know that there is humidity in there, and that will make them grow faster. In order to cause this humidity, you need to keep that wet constantly. Keep it wet all the time, and you're going to want a heat lamp or an under tank heater. I have here just a heat lamp. You flip it on right here, and just heat lamp, and it just gets it to around 80, which is what you're going to want, 80, 85. That makes them grow faster. That's all it does, and it makes them healthier. So you're going to want something like that. This is my setup, and this is what you're going to do to start off. Then I'll make another video, and I'm going to show you how to take care of them once they hatch. How to take care of them. And then I'm going to show you a video in a couple days on with the crickets in there, and I'll show you how to do this and show them what you guys act. But this is just what you need to start off before you get the crickets. And then I'll bring the crickets in later, and I'll show you in another video. I'll show you what it's going to be like with them there and how to take care of them. Alright guys, so just comment, rate, and subscribe. Check back for those videos, and I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys next time.